Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be working with our weekly milk order, and we're going to show you exactly how we handle storing all of our raw milk that we get from our local farmer. So however you decide to get your milk, be it weekly, be it monthly, be it bi-weekly, whatever it is you're going to do, this will hopefully give you a good idea of a way to store your milk long term that will work for you and your family and be palatable, because one of the number one things that we hear is that you cannot freeze milk, and that is not necessarily true. So we're going to show you exactly how to do that very simply, very easily, probably in under 5 minutes. So bonus. You know you're talking about milk, right? Yes, I know we're talking about milk. Would you please be quiet for once? She's annoying. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so for us, I usually end up getting about 2 gallons of milk every week. So I have a spare half-gallon jar. Now, depending upon your milk farmer, they could be doing different size jars, just to let you know. And you don't necessarily have to do glass. You could do a BPA-free plastic if you don't want to chance any breakage happening in your freezer. That's going to be something that's totally up to you. But the main thing that this jar is here for is going to be pouring off a small amount of what is in our 4 jars here into here. And I'll actually be keeping this in the refrigerator to drink through the week and to use for the week for any cooking or whatever it is that we're going to be doing. So let me go on ahead and show you how much we pour off and tell you why we pour that much off, because it does end up making a difference once you go to store it in the freezer, particularly if you are using glass jars. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do here is our half-gallon jar of milk. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this up because I want to distribute all of the milk fats nice and evenly through it before I pour it off. Now that I've got it shaken, I'm just going to take our little lid off here. We're going to pour our extra off into the spare jar. And what I shoot for is to have my milk level down below this bump, preferably here at this top line, no higher than this little measuring line right here. Now, the reason for that is simply because the way that milk expands when it's in the freezer, it can end up shattering glass jars in particular. It could shatter plastic jars as well, but it's particularly bad with a glass jar. So giving this headspace that you see here is going to allow the liquid to expand and not put extra pressure on the jar. And we are also going to leave the lid off while it's in the freezer. So I'll show you that here in a minute. That is also going to help keep the pressure down, as well as prevent that slushy texture that people complain about when they freeze milk. The reason that that happens is because you've left the lid on. If you keep the lid off during the entire freezing process, that is what will help prevent, after you go to defrost your milk, that weird texture that nobody likes, because the milk solids and the milk fats in there just get a little gnarly. Crystally? Okay, we'll go with crystally. They are unpleasant texturally, so if you want to prevent that, that is the way to prevent it. You can easily put a lid on it after it's been sanitized in your dishwasher, after you bring it in, and thoroughly thaw it. Don't add the lid before you thoroughly thaw. So let's go on ahead and show you how we store them in the freezer. Okay, so we're here at our upright freezer. Now, depending on you, you'll need to take some precautions, particularly if you have a traditional deep freezer. You're probably going to want to make sure and give a little bit more padding than what you're going to see here in our freezer as far as the upright goes. But let me show you basically what we do. Okay, so obviously we have a little bit of a low milk level going on, but you can see all of these pieces of cardboard, and they are here with a point and purpose, because we are going to take this milk And we usually put the freshest on the left, but do whatever organization works for you. And then we keep these pieces of cardboard in between each of the glass jars. Now, if you look closely at this one here, we've got a shatter situation. More than likely this happened because we accidentally bumped it with another glass. So when it comes to storing milk this way, this may not be a task that you want the kids helping you get out of the freezer, that sort of a thing. Just because breakage can happen. So we'll go on ahead and we'll end up tossing this completely, probably thawing it out and then putting it in the garbage in a plastic bag. But that is the basic thing that we do. Then we take these extra little pieces and we put them in between, and then we just continue lining up our jars one in front of the other, freshest on the left, older on the right, and that's what we do. So it's simple. It's easy. It isn't hard to be able to keep milk this way. In fact, it's going to completely and utterly come in handy because I'm going to be going through surgery in the next week. So we'll have a back stock. We won't need to go shopping, won't need to go anywhere. And you know what? It comes out fresh and tasting good, and there's absolutely no textural weirdness. Just remember to shake it, and also remember to leave the lid off and give yourself plenty of headspace. That's all I've got for you on this video. As always, keep it simple, natural, essential. We'll see you on the next one.